Where do we begin? It's currently the day after the night before. Don't know what to think really. Haven't been able to analyse the game as of yet. That's what I'm hoping to do in this video with you guys. Still feeling a range of emotions. Heartbreak, pride, anger, frustration. Let's get in and try and break this down then, shall we?
Hi-ho, you fat bastard. You had all the pies now, baby. You've never seen a salad. You had all the pies, you fat bastard.
Right, so to start with, we're going to go through the lineups, talk a little bit about the formations. Then I've got some match stats on the other side, and then we're going to talk about just the general analysis of the game. To be fair, we'll probably talk about that during all the way through the slides. So, let's start with the Italians. Pretty predictable formation, pretty predictable lineup. I wouldn't have made any changes. I didn't expect any changes to the way that Mancini set up at all. I think he's very structured in his approach, knows what he wants to do, and tends not to deviate from that. So we'll go through the lineup. We've got Donnarumma in goal, Emerson at left back with a centre back partnership of Chiellini and Bonucci, Di Lorenzo at right back, Jorginho in the 6, Barella and Verratti as those two centre midfielders. Out on the left, Lorenzo Insigne, Ciro Immobile up top striker. And on the right hand side is Chiesa. Like I said before, I would have chosen this exact lineup. I expected him to choose this exact lineup. Not really much else to talk about in regards to the Italians. Let's move on to us. I expected... Well, I don't expect anything from Southgate because he... You think one thing, you think he's going to do one thing and he does the opposite. Now, I like the 3-4-3 that we played against Germany. I think that's probably one of the best performances I've ever seen us play. And I think in the first 25 minutes of this game, it was the best performance I've ever seen England play. I really like the 3-4-3 formation. The thing with the 3-4-3 though, you have to be on the attack. You know, you have to push forward. You have to have a really high defensive line for it to be able to work. The key with it is the wing backs. So the wing backs play really, really high, which then forces either the midfield, part of the midfield to then go and mark the wing backs, or you need your forwards, your left winger and your right winger, to track back and be able to pick them up and mark them. And if you're dominate on the front foot, they can't get the ball out. You win the ball back in their half and you start it again. And I think in the first 25 minutes, we were excellent. Absolutely excellent. Couldn't fault whatsoever. We were playing on the front foot. Luke and Shaw and Trippier were playing really, really, really high. And that's actually how we created the first goal. Lots of sideways football, but with this tactic, it doesn't really matter because, like I said, to start with, you're playing so high on that front foot, you're working opportunity. You've got that overload on the left and overload on the right hand side with the wing backs, and that's exactly how it worked. Trippier picked up the ball, fantastic cross over to Luke Shaw, excellent finish. Never seen him do that ever in my life. Certainly, I'm sure he probably has at some point, and we looked excellent. And I really thought if we'd carried that on, we could have put 2 or 3 past them with ease because they didn't know what to do. Harry Kane was dropping deep. I love the fact that Kane drops deep. I think I've spoken about it before in a previous video. I think the modern day striker needs to have that in his game. And for this game, it worked perfectly. Chiellini and Bonucci want a target man, want balls being hit up long to the striker. They want a man to mark. If that man's coming forward, they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to go with him or not. They don't want to go with him because then that creates a space in behind, which is obviously what we were trying to do. And I think Kane did really, really well when he drops deep, and I like him when he drops deep. He proved that for Tottenham last season. You know, those 30-yard passes to Son, phenomenal. I don't think we had enough runners in behind. I think Mason Mount had an absolute shocker, but we'll get onto that in a minute. I think we played really, really well. Like I said, first 25 minutes, excellent. And then we went defensive. And then we sat back. Now, whether that was pressure in the game from the players or Southgate's tactics, we'll never know. But with this, for this tactic to work, for the 3-4-3 to work, like I said, we have to be playing on the front foot. We have to have a high defensive line. Those wing-backs have to be pushing forward. And you found in the first 25 minutes, Barella and Verratti were having to pick up Shaw and Trippier because Insigne and Chiesa were not dropping back. You could see Barella getting very angry that he was having to do that. And we were dominating them, and they didn't know what to do. They couldn't stop us. But like I said, we sat back, we defended, and that's when we allowed Italy to play their game. That's when we allowed Jorginho to be able to get the ball. We all know when Jorginho gets the ball, he dictates the play. He's a fantastic player at literally just picking the ball and knocking it off. And we didn't have that man on him. There was not that man coming in and pressurising him. I thought Mount would do that job, but he didn't. He kept a wide role. If you look at Mount's heat map, it's very, very strong, predominantly down that left-hand side. I know it says Sterling's on the left here, Mount's on the right. They did switch and interchange like they do, but predominantly Mount played off that left-hand side, and I think he had a really, really, really poor game. Getting at half-time. Now I'm thinking, we're getting in at half-time, Southgate's got to make a change. He's got to think one of two things. Okay, I want to sit back, I want to defend, I want to solidify the lead that we've got. And for me to do that, he should have taken Mason Mount off and put Jordan Henderson in, so we were almost playing a 3-5-2. So we would still have had Shaw and Trippier creating that width, but we would have had potentially Phillips with Rice in the middle sat a little bit deeper and Henderson on that other side as that midfield three, and just created that blockade, you know. But he didn't do that. He kept it the same. Now, if he wanted to go on the attack and he wanted to take it to him and to score more goals, which I think he should have done. The attacking talent we've got in this team is brilliant. Lots of people have criticised the formation. They're going to. I like the formation, so for me this is ideal. This is the formation that I would play anyway. Mason Mount should have come off regardless, whether it be for Jordan Henderson for midfield. I know Henderson did come on later in the game and he didn't play particularly well anyway. Or Jack Grealish comes on. Jack Grealish has had hardly any minutes in this tournament, and this is what really frustrated me and really, really, really angered me. Okay? Yes, the boys played amazing. Yes, the boys got into the final for the first time, but we should have won it. We should have won it. We've got the quality to have won that. And we proved that in the first 20 minutes. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't deal with us whatsoever. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? So, let's go on to our next little slide we've got going on here. We'll go through a few of these and just pick out, if we can see what kind of happened. So, the lovely little green blobs that we've got, that's the Italian stats, and the few occasional blue blobs are the English stats. So, start with ball possession, 66% to the Italians to our 34%. That goes through what I just said. You know, after the 25 minutes, we sat back and we defended and we let them have the ball. Italians had 19 shots, we had 6. They had 6 on target to our 2. 9 shots off target to our 3. 4 blocked shots to our 1. Yes, we had more corners. I think we could have done a lot better at set pieces in this tournament. I think we really, really, really struggled with our set pieces in this tournament. If you go back to the World Cup in Russia, we were brilliant at set pieces. So something's gone wrong there. Offsides, 5 to our 1. Fouls, 21 to our 13. Seen lots of people criticising Giorgio Chiellini for his pull on Bukayo Saka. Yes, it's bad. Yes, he shouldn't have done it. Yes, he only got a yellow card. But to be honest, that's all it's worth. That's in the eyes of the game, the rules of the game. That's a yellow card challenge, and he knows that. He's been around the block for an exceptionally long time. He knows what he's doing. It was a professional foul. It was a tactical foul. And I don't expect anything less from Giorgio Chiellini at all, to be honest. So I don't see how people can get... I can see how people get angry with him, but people calling for his head and calling for a red card, that's just not how football works. 3 big chances to our 1. I assume our 1 was literally the Luke Shaw goal, and that was it. 2 big chances missed to our none. They hit the woodwork once. They had 10 shots inside the box to our 4. That's really bad, isn't it? But then again, the way that we were playing, with Kane coming deep, we weren't going to get many shots in the box anyway. So I think you can kind of look past that stat a little bit. 9 shots out the side of our box to our 2. 5 goalkeeper saves from us to their 1. I think Jordan Pickford was amazing. I think, take one thing from that penalty shootout, Pickford absolutely outdone himself. I think he was really, really, really good. I think that low save that he made just before Bonucci stuck the ball in the back of the net, how he managed to get down that low, I do not know. Tipped it onto the post. I don't think he made any more mistakes in that. I don't think there's anything else he really could have done in that chance, to be honest. You look here, 822 passes from the Italians to our 424. That's awful. And then again, that goes with, like I said, we sat back, the Italians dominated the ball and just picked us apart. Literally picked us apart with passes. Kept the ball, frustrated us, angered us, and we got dominated on. Yeah. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, I'm angry. I'm sure I'll get over it. I just want to comment on the racist abuse that's come out for Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, and I think Raheem Sterling as well. That's not on. Come on, guys. It's the 21st century. It's pathetic, and it shouldn't be. We shouldn't have it at all. Shouldn't have it at all, and whether it be the government or the FA, or someone needs to do something about it, because it's not. Penalties. We want to talk about penalties. We don't have the best luck in penalties. Would I have changed who took a penalty? Probably. But Southgate said he's gone on the data, so they apparently practice penalties in every single training session. If those are the guys that are banging it in, you're going to pick them, aren't you? Like I said, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Should you have a 19-year-old taking the last penalty? Probably not. But if he was sticking him in every single training session, then you're going to choose him, aren't you? You know, you can't really question that. People questioning, Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish, whether they should have agreed, whether they should have stepped up, before. I seen Roy Keane making a comment on that. Again, Southgate made the comment that it was his decision on who took them. We don't know that. We can't comment on that. So, I'll get over it. Eventually, I'll get over it. I want to see England. I love England. I want to see England do well in a tournament. We have done very well, and we should be very proud of the boys. And they should be very proud of as well. People calling for Southgate's head is pathetic. The man's got us to a final. Was Gareth Southgate and Alf Ramsey the only two people to get us to a final? you can't criticise him. The FA won't get rid of him anyway, so you're pissing in the wind if you're trying to push for that. And final last slide. Congratulations to the Azzurri. It's like 37 games unbeaten now. Mancini's created a real philosophy, and gone are the days where you see the Italians have 10 men behind the ball. With yes, they've always had a solid back line. They've still got a solid back line, but they're more expressive and more open and creating chances and exciting, and just they had a fantastic tournament. The tournament was theirs. They opened with an absolute drumming of Turkey, and for 60-70 minutes of this game, they dominated us as well. So congratulations to the Azzurri for winning 2020, and fingers crossed that we can really push on now in Qatar in 15 months' time. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment, get involved in the chat, and peace.
Hi-ho, you fat bastard. You had all the pies now, baby. You've never seen a salad. You had all the pies, you fat bastard.